How did you start Nature's Purpose?
I thought you meant the podcast last week. I was like, AG just started rifling.
No, how did you start Nature's Purpose, and how old were you? What's the story behind that?
Oh, this is good. So Nature's Purpose was not something that I probably should have started.
Oh.
It's not. I'm not saying that I don't want it now. I'm saying that you wouldn't expect that I would be the one to start it. I went to school for mechanical and aerospace engineering, so I designed military helicopters.
That was my other question. That's why.
I designed military helicopters.
I wasn't expecting that answer.
Nothing food oriented, to be honest with you.
Funny.
I never worked in a kitchen prior to owning this business.
And did you start cooking the meat? Like, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I always ate healthy and always healthier, let me rephrase it. I mean, as a kid, I ate Lunchables and I ate, the Campbell soup. We all ate frozen crap food that our parents weren't educated enough to understand that the food wasn't great.
Absolutely.
But over time, as high school kind of came around and athletics came around, I started making all of my own food and bring my own food to school. Everybody knew that I was the kid that brought school or lunch to school. Never ate school lunch. Even in college, I always had my lunch with me, just a little lunch boy.
Look
just
at that.
carrying my
It
bag.
all played into part.
They literally call him lunch boy.
So yeah, I had buddies that would just be like, "Oh, what's up, lunch boy?" So yeah, long story
You're still
short,
lunch boy.
I still am. I'm all meals boy now. I got all the meals. So long story short was just basically corporate America was full of people that were super sedentary, not really eating very well, not planning what they were going to eat, and then they would just wait until they were hungry to figure out what they're going to eat. And that's just a bad time to make a decision.
Right.
So I always meal prepped for myself. People would ask, started meal prepping for friends, started meal prepping for family. I started a corporate health and wellness company first to try to help corporate America reduce spend on insurance, help corporate employees be healthier and utilize their employer to get healthier. Because a lot of these employers are funding a lot of programs.
Oh, for sure.
But employees don't care, don't want to do it because it's more of a stick than a carrot mentality. And sometimes you need a little bit more stick than the carrot, but you gotta go back and forth. So long story short, again, that didn't work out great. Nobody really wanted a $30,000 proposal to help them save $100,000 next year, something like that. So least common denominator across the board were how do we work out and how do we eat better? And at the time, when I was creating this, I was at Camelback CrossFit that was like SHC Healthcare. SHC, Scottsdale Healthcare CrossFit, was a nonprofit that owned a CrossFit gym. And all of us loved this gym. We were all about it, and we were going to go build Camelback CrossFit. So I didn't really want to be in the gym space quite as much as the rest of my friends did. And I already thought about it, already went through the ideas. It's like, okay, food is it. Food is how we're going to do it. So food was the mechanism to help take care of people and take care of my family. And obviously I need it because if I'm going to be eating every meal that I cook.
Yeah, I mean, you were meal prepping anyway.
Yeah, I was already meal prepping. My roommate, a couple years earlier, and he was a roommate for years, he and I would meal prep all the time, and we have a photo of the two of us prepping for us and employees that worked at our different companies, and we stacked them from the floor, and we were holding the stack above our head, and it was just a tall vertical stack of meals just in our kitchen that everybody was going to buy once we got to the office.
So you taught yourself how to cook. So do you cook for your family normally?
No, I don't now.
Don't now, but
yeah,
in the beginning.
Almost everything I eat is Nature's Purpose. In the beginning, so when I started it, I was dating Jess. We weren't even living together yet. So it was just more of my roommate and I would cook, and then cooking was never really a passion for me.
What
I
do
never
your
liked
kids
the cooking.
eat?
My daughter eats sweet potato scramble, banh mi, obviously none of the spicy seasoning.
Yeah.
Big kids meal.
That's so good.
Chicken Alfredo. Trying to think through all
of my favorites.
Yeah, those are really good.
I'm a child.
But she picked, and the caprese bowl, she picks certain things out of those.
For sure.
Like she still can't chew all the way through the bacon.
Oh yeah, she's little.
She's a year and a half,
Yeah.
She does not know what she's eating most of the time.
No, she's
like sweet potatoes. When I'm giving her sweet potatoes and I say sweet potatoes, like she kind of lights up. the banh mi noodles, the rice noodles.
Yeah, they're
She just
great.
loves those things. She
Oh,
gravitates towards those. Eggies, she likes some eggies every now and
Yeah.
then, but she's not like, they're not as good as pancakes. She
Yeah,
loves pancakes.
for sure.
Yeah.
So do you find like at night, like for me, I'll eat it breakfast and lunch, but then at night I'll cook my family dinner.
Right.
Do you feel like you guys even eat it for dinner too, or are you guys cooking separate meals, or you eat all day?
My wife cooks every now and then
Yeah.
for herself. I am always eating this.
Yeah, that's great. You have it right here.
Four meals a day, usually I eat
Yeah,
this.
that's good.
And now overnight oats is like that fourth meal for me. The last
Yeah.
meal of the night is
Yeah,
killing overnight oats before bed.
for sure. That's why I like the smaller size too, because then right before I go work out or something, I'm like, I eat the small
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
The full size, that's like mealtime. Small size,
Yeah.
that's in between.
Yep. I've been
Those
trying
are
to
my
do
snacks.
I've been trying to do 5 a.m. classes lately.
Yeah.
And if I can do a 5 a.m. class, I don't need food before. If I do a 7 or a 9 class, I'm usually pretty hungry, like right in the middle of the workout.
Right.
It's like, if only I had a meal.
Yeah,
If only nature's purpose was delivering.
If only. That's great.
Yeah.
Over
so-
the past like 7 years, what meal stands out the most in your mind?
I don't know why, but backyard barbecue.
Nice.
I don't even love that meal all that much. It's not really my style of meal, but backyard barbecue started our signature meals.
Nice.
So prior to
Okay.
COVID, we were fully custom meals. And
Oh,
we'd
wow.
have a 13,
Wow.
I think it was a 13-person team that was like, if we had one person gone and it was a 12-person team, that entire assembly line was hosed. So it was super.
So people were just ordering what they wanted. You were making their.
Yeah.
instead
People
of-
would order a small, medium, large, and
Yeah.
they'd order side, and a protein.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
they'd order an
Yeah.
egg, a protein, and 2 sides type of thing.
Mhm.
And we would make exactly what's on the label. So our team would sit there and do this. Okay, on to you. On to you. So that was a
Dang.
very important 13 people on that
Yeah.
line. And if anybody, like I said, if anybody didn't show up, now somebody has to do 2 positions.
That's hard.
And we'd rotate them in and out so that person isn't like 8 hours of just getting their butt kicked. And then once COVID hit, that whole assembly line with masks on and being close, we just saw that so many people were dropping like flies,
Oh, for sure.
not dropping like getting sick. So they
Literally.
they were getting sick and then not coming into work. So our 13-man team turned into 10 a lot of times. So we ended up having to adjust that to go for signature meals, and backyard barbecue was kind of the first real meal that we created. That
Love
was
backyard
like,
barbecue.
yeah, I think we got it.
What's your go-to right now?
Tony was the guy that created the backyard barbecue.
That's awesome. Love it, Tony.
Such a good meal, bro.
Been since COVID that you really feel like it's been the most progression for your bit for Nature's Purpose, or was it before? What is the actual year of establishment?
Actual year of establishment was 2016, and
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say that we like officially took off and started flying anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never really felt like, oh my gosh,
Just
we're
consistent
hammering it.
Yeah,
It was always kind of a consistent growth.
that's great.
COVID was a springboard to us learning a lot about like Facebook marketing. For
sure.
some reason, Facebook marketing was the easiest thing to do during COVID.
Yeah.
Because everybody all of a sudden stopped using Facebook for
Mhm.
marketing in like, I guess, more of the storefront settings.
Yeah.
So all of our costs on Facebook became much more efficient. So if we ever look at Facebook marketing now, it's so misconstrued because of what we saw during the COVID times.
That's funny.
We got so many new customers from Facebook
Facebook.
ads. And now any Facebook ads that we put out, it's like,
Not there.
it doesn't hit because there's so much competition in the meal prep space now and in the food space in general. Like,
Right.
other meal preppers aren't our only competition. Chipotle is also.
Yeah,
Like I could go order 3 bowls of Chipotle and
Yeah.
just put it in the fridge.
you're right.
And yeah, that's kind of the hard thing for us. But as far as like kind of taking off, it's always been 1 step forward or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It really
Yeah.
has.
So you had the 13
Facilities.
people in during COVID, and now how many people do you have?
We have, I'd say 33
Oh, wow.
employees
That's great.
across the business. And those 13 people were utilized for many
Right.
positions. I mean,
Right, yeah.
they were cooking, they were packing, and they were
Yeah.
delivering with us. To where, now it's pretty siloed individual positions.
You guys
I
deliver
still have
pretty
quite a
far.
few people. I still have quite a few people that are doing everything.
Yeah.
Kind of guys and girls.
You deliver pretty far.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend.
All over the
ordered-
valley.
Yeah, I was surprised. She lives all the way out in Rio Verde.
Yep.
And she was like, yeah, she goes, they deliver. I was like, they deliver to you? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even from my house up north, it takes me 30 minutes to get to her. So that's crazy.
And where are you at?
I'm just north off the 101 in Greyhawk.
Okay.
Like right
That's
off the
easy.
101.
That's
yeah.
really easy.
Yeah, easy.
We'll go there all the time.
For access. But then, yeah, she's keep going up Pima for her all the way out to Rio Verde. I mean, it's a solid drive out there. I was very surprised to hear that you guys deliver all the way
Yeah,
out
we go
there.
all over.
That's great.
Up 10% plus.
How many delivery drivers?
I'd say we have like 8 drivers, maybe 7. It's hit or miss right now for sure with the holidays,
Yeah.
just because everybody's in and out. But there are quite a few people.
Have you always been closed for the Thanksgiving and Christmas weeks?
No. I think this is within the last 2 years we started doing the Thanksgiving deal. I like it because it puts a lot less stress on our top manager team.
For sure.
But I also feel the pressure of anybody that's hourly is like, well, what do I do for that time?
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Really nice to give managers and all them off, but that's not fun. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys. So I leave that up to the whole team. I don't want to make that decision. I'll be here regardless.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to work, we'll find something for you.
Mhm.
There's always something to do. Week
Have you
46.
ever thought you would shut down the business at any point?
What does that mean? Like stop doing the business?
Yeah. Or has it always been pretty optimistic looking going forward?
Oh, like the business might shut down. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you have those thoughts like once a year? Twice a year?
The last 3 years, leading up to COVID, there were probably only like 1 or 2 kind of life-threatening type of moments. Prior to COVID, I was actually in the hospital for a month with
Oh,
sepsis.
shoot. Oh God.
So there was all kinds of issues have happened over the time of me owning this
That's
business.
terrifying.
I have injured myself more owning this business than anything I've ever done combined. Like.
Did the
CrossFit,
sepsis form
ride
from
motor-
something here? Like,
I
did you
had-
cut yourself? Like,
So on the drive home from a trip to California to buy equipment, my appendix ruptured,
Oh
but it
my
didn't
God.
burst; it just ruptured.
right.
And I
Just
don't
like a
remember the exact
slow-
time frame, but like 5-6 days later, it really hit me. But it was like affecting me throughout that whole time. And when it first hit in California, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to poop.
Yeah.
And
I've heard
immediately I
immensely.
have to poop. And then at like the next 3 days were like cycles of constipation to I have to go to the bathroom. Constipation, I have to go to the bathroom. And it was like that for like 5 days. And then all of a sudden
And you weren't sure what was going on.
I had no idea. I went to my naturopathic and she thought it was an ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me this whole diet protocol and that lasted maybe 12 to 24 hours before my wife found me like convulsing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah. I had
That's
like
terrifying.
my skin. It was like starting not oozing through, but like my whole face was like starting to swell up because it got
Yeah.
all the way up to my face. Like my
Yeah,
whole body
severe
was swelling
sepsis.
up.
Your body was shutting down.
But I had like little pock marks on my face of like where it
Oh.
was like coming out.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
That's horrifying.
So they got in there and they had
completely drained.
yeah, they had to completely drain and get the infection taken care of on my colon, my bladder, kidney, and liver,
Damn.
and then they could go in and do surgery. So it was a while before they could even go and like take care of stuff. It was just dialysis and flush,
Oh
whatever.
my gosh, I don't even remember how we got on this point. What were you saying?
I got down to 138 pounds.
Holy crap.
I'm usually 180. So I went 138, made my way back up to
Sepsis is
180.
No joke. I mean, that's
Super no joke. Oh yeah,
severe.
very no joke. So one of my buddies is a medical device sales rep, and he was in the hospital at the time talking with doctors who do this sort of surgery. Those doctors were on a call with people on the East Coast trying to decide how to take care of a 31-year-old, super active, sepsis patient. And he was in this call just kind of like, all right, well, whatever.
And it was you.
He found out it was me later, like, Mikey, oh my gosh, you were like a Dr. House case.
No.
They were like asking what they should do and whether they should do this or this and which is more life-threatening. Like, oh my gosh.
So that's the moment where you thought maybe you would shut it down. That's what you asked
Yeah, yeah.
about shutting
So
it
at
down.
that point, I didn't have extreme control on the business. We had good control on the business, but I didn't have extreme control. So I was still doing this from the hospital bed, and I'd hand it to the wife.
No,
And
yeah.
she wasn't my wife at the time yet.
Yeah.
She was my girlfriend, sitting through this like, what if this guy dies? Like, that's the weirdest thing ever.
Like, I gotta run a meal prep business.
Yeah, I got to figure out a meal prep business. So
Yikes.
at that point, I didn't have the website lined up really well, and I didn't have our merchant services lined up really well. And I have no idea how, but somebody must have found out. But our credit card processing went from like 2.5% to like 8%. So every every $100 that comes in, you're now losing $8 instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
to $100,000 that they were taking
Damn.
very aggressively.
Do you know why? Like rules?
It was a variable processing charge, and I honestly have no idea how they figured this out, or if maybe leading up to it I missed the mail that said like, sign here if you don't want your rate to go up. I have no idea what it was, but I eventually found out, got back to, canceled them, canceled everything, and
Okay.
got the new website lined up. It's like, wow.
So was Jess pretty much running it while you were in the hospital sick, or was Tony here then? Or?
Tony wasn't here then. I had a good team. We had a good team. It wasn't the biggest issue to say, guys, I can't be there. It wasn't as efficient, but the team still got the job done. The customers still got their great food. But yeah, there was a month of hospital, followed by I don't really know how much time at home.
So
Where else do we go from here?
back to you. What is your favorite meal? You never answered me. What is it?
What is my favorite meal?
Yeah.
I'm really loving Grandma's roast right now. Kicking meatball bowl. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's a few really good ones that I get every single week,
Yeah.
and I always try to wait. Like the best thing is always last for me to eat on a plate.
Mm-hmm.
I always save the best bite for last, and I always try to save the best meal for last. But a lot of times I get to Monday, and it's just like, or Tuesday or whatever, and I'm like, no, that guy's gone.
That
That sucker is done. Mondays are our longest days, non like work specific.
Yeah.
Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those are all kind of easier days, but
Mhm.
that
Thursday
Monday
here.
day is just kind of a longer day for us. And yeah, I get home and it's like, nope, willpower's not here. I'm crushing the good one first.
Growing up, have you ever heard of Sloppy Joe?
Slappy Joe or Sloppy Joe?
Sloppy. You know this?
I know Sloppy Joe.
Yeah. So that is your chopped cheese sandwich. and
Yeah, Sloppy Joe sandwich. I thought
Yeah.
you said Slappy Joe. I was like, is that like a...
You ever heard of Sloppy Joe?
You ever heard of them there Sloppy Joes? No. Sloppy Joe sandwiches. Absolutely no Sloppy Joe sandwiches.
Yeah, so that's like the chopped cheese, I feel. I'm
That's way
obsessed.
better.
It's
Yeah.
so much better.
So the
It's
chopped
so good.
cheese is like a New York thing.
Okay, that's
So
where it came from.
yeah. So
I'm
the
not sure
chopped
that's what I'm
cheese,
asking.
chopped cheese is supposed to be like a burger on a sandwich.
So good.
So it takes all the burger components
Yeah.
and then you put lettuce, tomato on it,
Yeah.
maybe a pickle, and it turns it into like the hamburger components with the dressing, the sauces in it.
Yeah.
It is a good meal.
Yeah.
That one I try to stay away from that one because I'm gonna eat way too many of those.
That's my issue is I would order just that and all of that every week.
She's like seven of them.
I walk out smelling like chopped cheese sandwich. Sick.
Hamburger stink.
Yes.
I like it. That's a good one. That is a really good one.
It's so good. It's my fave. It's my go-to.
That
but-
really is your fave.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah, it's my favorite. And then
I'm trying to think.
Italian Stallion's my favorite at the moment.
as of recent, so good.
I hit the Italian styling every week.
One I've given to my kids too. Like that's one. They're like, this is very good. The flavor is on point.
Yeah, that is one. We worked for, it wasn't a long time, but we had that name kind of tabled until we brought the meal that would garner that name.
Ooh.
Like, okay, we have to put together a good meal that could cover the Italian stallion well.
Yeah, you can't call it that and not be.
The team went through, I think, at least 2 or 3 iterations. I'm not sure how many we really tested,
Yeah.
but there were definitely 2 or 3 concepts that we threw at the wall, and like, no, it doesn't
That's
get
not
it.
it.
Doesn't hit it. And then this one, like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's great. Who does the chef and you, or who picks the weekly meals? Like, how do you decide that? Do you have a sit-down meeting? And
It's a team effort for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What we should test, the actual production of the food that comes to the table and we get to eat. That's all chef driven.
Oh, cool.
So usually we have maybe 3 or 4 meals out. We're kind of trying to make sure we're throwing stuff at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, maybe we could try out a Thai noodle bowl. Okay, cool. And then they'll bring it to us, and if it hits, it's great.
Yeah.
Here's some tweaks. Let's rock. We got 3 meals already in line. That'll be the 4th meal.
Yeah, very cool.
Or it's like, no, send that one to the grave.
Didn't work.
That one was not it. I'm sorry I came up with a bad idea. Never again.
Yes.
Like we did biscuits and gravy, and I thought that the biscuits and gravy was executed pretty well. It sold so bad because you don't go to meal prep, healthy meal prep to get biscuits and gravy, and I mean I know that, but I still want to keep that little,
Right.
that froth on top of the espresso or the latte. You're like, oh yeah, you gotta keep
That's
that.
like my chopped
That's
cheese
the flavor,
sandwich.
exactly. So we can only keep so many on the menu that are like that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
over time, you just gotta, like the breakfast burrito is, I think it's a 900 calorie burrito
Yeah.
because it's huge.
It's massive. For the biscuits and gravy, was it biscuits and gravy, like separated?
Full
You
smother,
gravy?
full
Really?
smother.
I would have
Yeah, that's
devoured
all.
that.
Yeah, it was full
But
smother.
like, it's gotta be so soggy, right?
It wasn't
Yeah.
because we had thick, dense biscuits.
Okay.
So like your top layer of biscuit was pretty soggy, but once you cut into it, the center and the bottom of the biscuit was beautiful. It was good. I loved it.
I would have too.
You
I
can't
can
eat
imagine
biscuits
though
and
that people
gravy.
Probably
yeah.
wouldn't have ordered
You can't
it
eat
though, just
biscuits
based
and
on the
gravy
name.
all that often, but
Yeah.
that was a really good one.
I still want to do the pancake breakfast thing. I know
Yeah.
we've talked about it, but I don't
The
know
only
if it'll work. But
pancakes are tough just because of the production size that you want to hit.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to sell hundreds of the meal and we want to put 3 pancakes in, we got to make 300 pancakes.
Yeah.
300 pancakes on a flat top is just a
It's a
pain in the
lot.
butt.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of pancakes to make. And we don't have a huge flat top because we don't need a huge flat top.
Yeah.
So on our flat top, it'd probably be sets of 15 at most.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of work.
You'd be there for a long time making 300 pancakes.
can't do waffles either. Like so many
Waffles
waffle
are
irons.
terrible. Oh, waffles would be terrible.
Yeah.
The only way I'd do waffles if somebody else made a good waffle, but then it'd be a frozen waffle that we're basically just putting into a container,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, just buy those guys
Yeah.
waffles.
Oh, sweet potato scramble's where it's at.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My brother eats that every day.
I pretty much do too. If I
Yes.
order enough of them, I'm
Yeah, that's my
That
mom and my
bacon.
brother's go-to.
yeah, such good flavor. I don't know what is in it. I don't know if it's the sweet potato or the sauce, but something
Oh,
hits
yeah.
every time.
So I have
Is
kept
it?
that meal. I've kept that meal on the menu, in and out of like dips of popularity.
Yeah.
And told the whole team, you cannot chop this meal. This is my mom's favorite meal. Then it became my brother's favorite meal.
Yes.
And now I guarantee the two of them are propping up those numbers just all by
Yeah,
themselves.
and Candace.
There we go, Candace. I mean, that's
I got
30 something
it.
meals right there,
Right
just
there.
between the three. of
Last
them.
week, Stan was like, I only want it. That's all I wanted. Was just all
Sweet potato.
It's so good, yeah.
Well, then I know I'm just getting a good meal too.
Right.
That's the best part is when I'm truly getting my kids' stuff ready in the morning, and I am like, I don't want to eat an Uncrustable.
Oh yeah.
I hate to admit it, but when I'm coaching 5, 6, 7, and I run home and I have to make them breakfast, and I'm throwing it together. The best thing that's ever happened to me was actually having a well balanced meal.
Well-planned meal.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Then I just feel so much better because I'm not taking the time on Sundays to meal prep. So.
Right. That's tough. So as a busy mom,
Yeah.
how does Nature's Purpose help you out? Not only with your kids, but also your lifestyle.
Yeah, so just running in and out truly and out the door. Like when I make those videos eating this in the gym, I'm actually sitting there eating in
Yeah.
between coaching, eating this and eating that. Even if I have to eat it cold.
Right.
That's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
And then at night when my husband works until 8 and the kids, I make them their meal, and if I don't feel like eating whatever they want, that's it. I know I can hit my protein, I know I can hit my carbs, and it's just there. So for me, even if I wasn't into working out, it would help me.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I agree.
Yeah. Otherwise, you overeat, or you eat the kids' leftover mac and cheese, or you eat, you scramble.
I gained the freshman 15 for sure.
Absolutely.
Having a baby, because I'd eat. I can't remember all the details exactly, time frame wise, but I broke my foot. We had a baby, and I kept eating like an athlete.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even moving. I wasn't moving at all.
Yeah.
I shattered several bones in my foot. Wasn't moving at all. Like I was so sedentary.
Your wife at this point's like,
First
he has sepsis, now he has a broken foot.
done for.
I've had 7 concussions, I think, towards like prior to Jess, to where like I think there's just a head trauma. I'm like one head trauma away from just being done. So like, gosh, that's gonna be the one that really lights us up. But the food thing, I gained the freshman 15 because I had the broken foot. We had the baby, and then I was eating like an athlete still, and eating all of her leftovers because we were trying to figure out what she liked at the time.
For sure.
And she doesn't like anything. She just wants milk. So I'm just crushing pancakes and waffles and sausage. All the good food that obviously I shouldn't be eating. But actually getting onto a super strict, back onto nature's purpose has been, a big help for me.
Oh,
it's
for
like,
sure.
oh, this is great.
Yeah,
it's such a reassuring outcome to be like, oh, this really is the business that we should be doing. Because look, I'm getting shredded again.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't have to worry about my macros. I don't want to sit down and weigh my food. I don't want to, but I also want to be fit. Like that's my goal right now. So
find a decent calorie deficit.
That's
with
it
the satisfaction of good food.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you didn't want to be in a deficit and you wanted to maintain or do a surplus, it's already on the side. I literally have to put zero thought into what I'm doing.
It is the greatest thing ever,
So that's what that's my fave. That's my favorite part.
Easy. We're getting close to our end time here.
Okay.
Just so the team can
get
in.
Calorie need?
I was just gonna get my chicken sandwich back there, but I don't want to be.
You can grab it.
Do it.
Okay. Good.
We need a run.
You drive over here every day?
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
5 days a week. So I don't come here on the weekends.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
67th Ave in Happy Valley.
Right.
It's a good drive.
Yeah, it's a solid drive for you.
So I usually come all the way around. I'm trying to do 5 o'clock, like I said. So out of the house at 4:20. Get the Camelback, do the workout, and then come
well, at least
here.
you do that that's great. That's good. It's good Camelback.
Yeah.
I want to come hit a workout at Camelback with you.
Yeah, let's do
5
it.
5 a.m.?
I'll go to most classes. 5. I only do 5 a.m. right now because it is hard for me to get home at 5 p.m.
Totally.
So if the further back I push my day, the further back I push my home time. If I'm getting home at 5, I usually have like an hour and a half with Bricks before I have to put her to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
To 2 hours at most.
I feel you.
And then my wife is like, "Oh, cool! You took her for 2 hours of the 12-hour day.
Absolutely.
Thanks, honey."
Right.
So I'm trying to push my morning as early as possible to get home as early as possible.
I get that.
And 5 o'clock is so much easier than I ever expected it to be.
Yeah.
I never was an early morning gymmer.
Once
And
it's
then
over.
7 o'clock turned into 6, 6 turned into 5, and now it's like, oh man, well, if I don't get my 5 or 6 o'clock workout, this day's kind of ruined from
My
the
5
beginning.
a.m. is one of my biggest classes that
Really?
I coach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Camelback's the same. It's
Yeah,
bigger
it's
than
good.
the 6, bigger than the 7. The only classes that can touch it is like 4 and 5.
For sure. Same.
Yeah.
Same for ours.
That's everybody getting off work.
Right.
Cool.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to have
We
to come
need
hit a
to,
workout.
yeah, let's get that in.
Yeah, let's do
We
that.
need to come back to Blair.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I have a couple girlfriends that I've met though through just doing no-co stuff and Nature's Purpose posts and things like that at Camelback and local competitions. So I'd love to come hit a workout there with all of you guys.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's do it. I
Good
didn't know you were
street
going
team.
there every day.
Yeah.
All right.
So I didn't do, what did we have? I think we had thrusters one day when I came to Blur. So I couldn't do thrusters because
you
my
guys
shoulder.
come on bad times.
That was a rough day.
That was a hard workout.
I wanted to cancel, but I was like, nah, you guys gotta come. Like I didn't want.
If anybody else from the street team would have came, they would have been so frustrated. I'm glad it was just us two.
I definitely would have texted and said, and then the time you came, the air conditioning was out in our other place, and I'm
It was
like,
94 degrees in their old gym when I dropped in, dude.
Oh,
the air conditioning.
nice and chilly. Dang.
Yeah, both times I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys.
Killer workouts. I'm pretty sure I had to do thrusters both times.
More than
Or
likely.
like, yeah.
We don't go to workouts for rest. We're going to workouts to get better, break up the body and
Yeah,
rebuild it.
yeah. So you guys have a fridge, obviously. I can went back
Yeah,
then too.
yeah. They're the first fridge we
They
had.
were- yeah.
They were the testers, and then
Sweet.
it worked, and it still works.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great. We'll have to come check it out.
a street team workout would be fun. I want to try to get more street team workouts as best we can.
Yeah,
I know they're hard.
Just
hard
the
to
time
schedule.
frames, like just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, especially on a Tuesday, Wednesday,
It's
Thursday
tough.
time frame, like just random.
It's
And
random.
everybody's probably like, why not Saturday?
Mhm.
Saturdays are the easiest days to get a workout in.
Yeah,
but
not even
maybe
for
not
me,
for you,
no.
because then your kids aren't at school.
Yeah, it's literally I'm away. If I'm not coaching or doing stuff like that, I'm with my kids. You know,
Good job, Mom.
yeah, I do both.
Very good job.
Full time mom, part time coach.
That's fun. That's
Yeah.
really fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Mixed stud. Is that what you said? Yeah.